as you join in. Today I'm actually recording a live video at Western STEM Academy, so you get to see the behind the scenes of what we're doing. I'm actually recording a video about scholarships, and I thought it would be nice to share here because a lot of persons could benefit from that. Did you know that every year there are over $100 billion that are offered in scholarships, globally? So that's something that I want to talk about. I actually have a full presentation that I'm going to be doing for Western STEM Academy YouTube channel. So I'll go through. I might not stop during, but if you have questions, definitely you want to hang around. And I'll have a question and answer section at the end. But in the meantime, you could also head over to our YouTube channel, Western STEM Academy, and that's where the video is going to be uploaded. So let me know, how are you doing? All the persons who are joining, definitely say hello so I know that you're watching. And it's the first live in a while at Western STEM Academy, but we're back, we're here. School has started or resumed as of Monday the 17th. Well, actually, we were there Monday the 10th, actually, last week. I don't know, from morning I've been mixing up. Last week, from the 10th of November, we have been back since the storm, and going. So we hope everybody's doing good. Definitely for those who are on TikTok, tap the screen and join. Those who are on YouTube, definitely like the video and share as well. I'm sure you'll find something useful. And let me know, have you ever received a scholarship? Do you know anybody who has received a scholarship? And who better to tell you about scholarship opportunities than myself? I grew up in rural Jamaica and, in abject poverty, never had any opportunities to go to college. Like, that wasn't really the thing that was there for me. I didn't think college was gonna be possible until kind persons come into my life and started exposing me to opportunities, and I was able to actually get a full scholarship for college that covered tuition, boarding, and all of that. Several different scholarships I was able to get. So I felt like it would be a good idea to share how persons can go to colleges, universities with scholarship, because a lot of time we want to continue our education, or we want our children to continue their education, but we do not know any scholarships that they can, and we don't even know that scholarship exist. Right, so that's what I'm going to be talking about. So yeah, if you have questions, definitely let me know. Please keep the live positive. If it's the first time you are catching me live, I'm Felisa Ricketts, and I'm the CEO and founder of Western STEM Academy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start before I run out of breath. All right, so you want to go ahead, comment, and if you have questions, let me know. I might take a break, even though I wanted to be at the end. I might take a break in the middle to ask questions because I'm gonna record it on here as well. All right, so let's go. I want to go ahead and lock this just in case I'm recording this. Let me go ahead. All right. All right. I think we are good now. Let me know where you're watching from, those who are joining, and if you're a parent and which grade your child is in. One common misconception that people have is that your child needs to be in grade 10 or 11 to think about scholarships. Nope. You have to start thinking about scholarships from very early. Somebody said it's my birthday. How are you? Hi, Andrea. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I hope it's a great day. Let's all say happy birthday to Andrea. Andrea is over on our YouTube, Western STEM Academy. We're live there as well, and we're live on Instagram. Hi, hi, hi. And we're live on TikTok, of course. All right, so now I'm gonna start. Even though you heard the intro already, you guys will hear it again. If there are errors, I'm just gonna keep going straight because yeah, it's a recording. I can edit it out. Like, what I mean is, like, if I make any mistake or anything, I have a script here that I want to share with you on scholarships, but you will see the full thing on YouTube. All right. Why am I nervous? I do this all the time, but I've never really done it live. It's today I get the grand idea. But we're gonna do it.
Recording in progress.
Hi everyone, welcome to another video with us at Western STEM Academy. I'm your host Felisa Ricketts. I'm the CEO and founder of Western STEM Academy, and today we're talking about scholarships, top scholarships that Caribbean students can actually apply for. I want you to know, or did you know that there are over 100 billion dollars every year that are offered in scholarships globally? You or your child could actually benefit from these scholarship opportunities if only you knew about them. There's so many persons who actually want to pursue tertiary education. There's so many persons who want to further their studies, but because they don't know how, they end up not doing that. I was once in that position where after I finished high school, I had no idea what I was gonna do next. At one point I knew I wanted to go to college. I knew I wanted to come out of poverty. But I know that after having lost my father at the age of 7 and my mother who had a mental illness and I struggled through high school, struggled through prep school or primary school. It was really my teachers at the time who saw something in me and were helping me, supporting me with basic things such as food, clothing. So by then, of course, I know that college wasn't gonna be in it for me. I needed to go get a job, to work, to afford basic amenities. But scholarships were able to save me and help me and actually further my studies. And sometimes it's hard because we don't always know what scholarships exist, right? So yeah, we don't always know what scholarships exist at all the times. We don't always know, right? So that's why I want to share this video. So I'm going to be sharing this video. Top scholarships Caribbean students can apply for, and comment if you have questions. Definitely let me know, right? I'll try to answer the questions as we go through, right? And you can definitely go ahead, comment. And if you're watching on YouTube, definitely subscribe, like the video, and share. So go ahead and share, everybody. Share with at least 5 persons. I'm sure you know 5 persons who would benefit from a scholarship right now, right? 5 persons. And if you had an opportunity to go to your ideal university, which university would that be and why? Right? I was able to go to Church Teachers College, which is in collaboration with the University of the West Indies, where I studied and completed my bachelor's degree and then started a master's degree. So I want you to go ahead and comment, if money wasn't a problem, which university would you go? In this video, we're going to be exploring local and international universities. So this is not only limited to Jamaica. Yes, students have gotten scholarships to study internationally, even in other countries. All right, so enough of that. Let me go straight in. All right. So, top scholarships Caribbean students can apply for every year. Thousands of dollars in scholarship funding go unclaimed, right? Because talented Caribbean students, they miss out on life-changing opportunities. Whether you are dreaming of studying in the UK, USA, Europe, or even in the Caribbean, Jamaica, or any other Caribbean country, there are actually incredible funding opportunities waiting for you. Do you know any scholarships? Let me know in the comments if you know any of them, right? Today we're going to be exploring the most valuable scholarships available to Caribbean students, from fully funded international programs. Yes, they are fully funded international programs, to local opportunities that can transform your academic journey, right? Your dream education is more achievable than you think. Do you believe that? Let me know if you believe that for yourself or for your child. I know I have some parents on. How old is your child? Which grade is your child currently in? And do you think about college education for your child any at all? Every parent should be thinking about that, right? Now, why scholarships matter? You might be wondering why scholarships matter. Now, scholarships, they matter because it can reduce your education by up to your cost for college education up to 85%. So average percentage that scholarships reduce education costs for recipients. It's true that college education can be expensive. Everybody knows that. But if you receive scholarships, you can actually reduce your expenses by up to 85%, right? Some persons have had 100% scholarships. Anybody here has had a 100% scholarship? Let me know in the comments. Let me know, right? Hi, Tishana. How are you? Right? And we also have scholarships valuing over $50,000. on average. So the average value over $50,000, and we're talking about US dollars, right? The typical worth of international scholarship package include tuition and living expenses. Yes, there are actually scholarships that cover living expenses. I was one of the recipients of those scholarships that covered living expense. When I was going to college, I had no idea that any college or any scholarship opportunity would cover living expenses. I knew scholarships exist, but I'm like, the most that they would give you is like to cover a part of your tuition. So to actually get a scholarship that covers both tuition and living expenses plus give you a stipend, right? Can you imagine? And some of these international scholarships that we're going to touch on, they also give you traveling. So there's literally no out of pocket cost where persons are literally paying you to study so that you can have the qualifications. And you might be like, why is it important to have qualifications? We need qualified persons. I'm all for skills development. I'm all for all of that. But to have your qualifications, there's nothing that beats that. Education is necessary. Right? We need persons who are qualified, competent. We need persons with the skills, but that formal training, the opportunities that it exposes you to, the networking that comes with it, there's nothing that can compare to that. Do you agree? Right? And of course, there are over 300 available programs. The number of scholarship opportunities specifically targeting Caribbean students, because a lot of Caribbean students will say there aren't a lot of scholarship opportunities available for us. That's not true. There are over 300 of them where you can actually study, right? And it doesn't even matter your age. It doesn't matter your age. These scholarships that I'm talking about, they're not just targeted at students who are just leaving high school. I'm talking about working professionals who are also able to get scholarships. Hi, politics and sport. How are you? Right? Now, the rising cost of international education makes scholarship essential, not optional. So in this day and age, it's not an option. It is essential, right? Tuition fees are constantly increasing. Scholarships actually help you to provide that financial bridge that turns those educational dreams that you have into reality. A lot of us had big dreams, but you know what stopped us from actually achieving those dreams, or what has stopped us so far? The lack of finances. We say, you know what, we don't have no money. We're going to just do something else. Money is that one thing. So that is why scholarships are important, right? Do you agree? Wouldn't it be nice for you to get a scholarship? Let me know. Right. So for Caribbean students, these opportunities, they represent more than funding. They're actually pathways to global networks, career advancement, and bringing valuable skills back to our region. So these scholarships, yes, the money is important, but sometimes it's not even the money at all. But the networking opportunities that come from some of these scholarships, the organization to be a part of the group, right? It gives you so much support. You realize that that itself is even more valuable than the actual scholarship itself. And you're going to learn more about that. All right. So those who are watching live, we're recording on our YouTube channel. Definitely go ahead and tap the screen and share the live. This is gonna be very valuable for somebody. And I'm also recording for a YouTube channel, right? And if you have questions, just let me know as well in the comments. I just mute from time to answer your question. All right, now international powerhouse scholarships, we're gonna go there. Right now, the world's most prestigious scholarship programs, what they do, they actually actively seek Caribbean talent. You have to understand that our Caribbean talent is in high demand, right? These opportunities offer more than funding. They are providing access to world-class universities. We're talking about Ivy League universities, right? International networks and career defining experiences that actually last a lifetime, right? From the UK's historic universities, imagine being able to study in the UK on a scholarship. Yes, that's possible. There are persons who have done that and are doing that every single year, right? Do you know anybody? We had one such person who was on our live just now, right? From the UK's historic universities, top research institutions, and Europe's innovative programs, these scholarships are designated to identify and nurture the next generation of global leaders. The application process is competitive. I'm not going to say it's easy. Nothing good comes easy, right? Right? So, the application process is competitive because you are competing against top talents, but the rewards are transformational. And sometimes it's not even as hard as we even think, by the way. Now, the first one, we're going to talk about the Chevening scholarships. Chevening scholarships, your gateway to the UK, right? That's the first one we're gonna touch on local and international one. Now, what's included in a Chevening scholarship? I wish we had one of our Chevening persons on here to tell us more about it, right? Or somebody who has firsthand studied in the UK because they are a recipient of this scholarship. And maybe that's something that we can actually do in one of our future videos so you can hear firsthand what the experience was like. Now, what this covers, right? First, it covers full tuition, right? You don't have to worry about any tuition. You also get monthly living allowance. Remember, I told you that some scholarships actually give you living allowance. So not only are you getting your education paid for, but you're getting living allowance. You also get return flights to UK, right? You also get arrival and departure allowances, as well as the visa application cost. All of those are typically covered, right? This is perfect for future leaders and influencers, professionals. So this is usually geared towards professionals with 2+ years experience, as well as those who are passionate about creating change. This is also good for persons who have strong academic performance. You have been doing very well, and that's why it's so important for us and our students to be doing very good in school. So parents, you should be making sure that your child is doing well in school. Is your child doing well in school? Are you a child who is doing well in school? Let me know, right? As well as community minded individuals. So these are just the basics of what you need to actually receive this kind of scholarship. And most scholarships will require this. They will require excellent academic performance, and they will also require you to be active in your community. They just require you to be somebody who is well rounded, doing well, and they know that, hey, this investment that they're making, it's going to be for the greater good. Chevening is the UK's flagship scholarship program, funding 1 year master's degree. So this is actually geared towards persons doing their master's, 1 year master's degree at any UK university. Beyond the financial support, you'll join an exclusive global network of over 50,000 alumni who are leaders in their fields. This application usually opens around August each year, with a deadline typically in November. And Jamaica is definitely one of the countries that take part in the Chevening Scholarship. Have you ever heard of it? Anybody here has heard of the Chevening Scholarship, or you know somebody who has received it? Let me know. Or you yourself have received it. All right, let me know, because we know that some of you are in the comments or in the chat. All right, that's one. Now we have the Rhodes Scholarship. Rhodes Scholarship. We're going straight into the Rhodes Scholarship. Now, the Rhodes Scholarship, right? This is actually one of the oldest and most celebrated international fellowship awards in the entire world. Persons right across the world can apply for this, right? It's an international postgraduate award for students to study at the University of Oxford. So you can definitely read more on the Rhodes Scholarship, the Chevening scholarships, right? We also have, and these are the international ones. So I'm zooming in on the international ones, and then I'm going to come down to the local ones, as well as those ones that can help you with like a first degree, not necessarily a master's degree. Now, Fulbright program. This one is America, right? So American Dream. No, the graduate study. What this does is that it covers master's and PhD programs at top US universities with full funding, including health insurance and book allowances. Yes, you are getting health insurance because whenever you're in the USA, health insurance is such a hassle that, yes, so this, you wouldn't even realize how beneficial or critical this is. Research opportunities as well. Conduct independent research at US institutions with access to world class facilities and mentorship. as well as cultural exchange, right? Immerse yourself in American culture while sharing Caribbean perspectives with US communities. Now, the Fulbright programs is actually America's flagship international education exchange program. It covers tuition. So here what it covers. It covers tuition. It also covers airfare, living, stipend, and health insurance. Competition is fierce, but Caribbean applicants have strong success rates due to the program's commitment to diversity and the region's educational excellence. We have a good education system in the Caribbean. There's no doubt about that. So whenever we apply for any of these international scholarships, we rank high. And that's why it's important for us to do well, right? Application typically opens in February with May deadlines. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know. I'm here to answer all your questions. There's also the Erasmus Mundus Explore Europe, right? Where you choose your program, you select from over 100 joint programs offered by European university consortiums, and you study in multiple countries. You can actually explore or experience 2 to 4 different European countries during your studies, gaining diverse perspectives. So, you can go across different countries in Europe, right? You receive full funding where you get tuition coverage, monthly allowance of £1,000, right? Basically, £1,000, and also travel costs between countries. You also graduate with joint degrees, right? Joint degrees. So you earn degrees from multiple prestigious European universities simultaneously. That's the Erasmus Mundus Explore Europe Scholarship, right? What this does, it offers a unique European experience where you study in multiple countries and earn joint degrees. The program basically emphasizes cultural diversity and academic excellence, making it perfect for adventurous Caribbean students because you're literally going across countries in Europe. So think about all the countries. Do you know some of the countries that are in Europe? Anybody? Go ahead, list them below. At least 2 countries, 2 European countries. 2 European countries. Anybody? 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 Thank you for following. Thank you for following those who are live. We're doing a recording for Western STEM Academy's page, and we are allowing you to be on the we have YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, and we want you to be a part of the conversation. So definitely comment, follow, like. Let me know if you have questions, and sure to head over to our YouTube, Western STEM Academy, and hit the subscribe button. And this video will be released very soon. All right, so by now you should be listing 2 European countries. Anybody? Why am I not seeing anyone? You guys don't know the European countries? All right. Now, OAS scholarships supporting our region. That's another one, right? OAS scholarships, right? Now, Organization of American State Scholarships. That's what the OAS scholarship is. The OAS Academic Scholarship Program is specifically designed for Caribbean and Latin American citizens. So think Latin America, think Caribbean, right? So that's who it's designed for. These scholarships, what they do, they support undergraduate and graduate studies in OAS member countries with special emphasis on priority development areas, right? Undergraduates, you can get undergraduate and graduate funding. You also get you get the opportunity to study anywhere in the Americas, as well as focus on development priorities. And there is a special consideration for women and indigenous populations. This usually covers tuition, living expenses, and travel. You'll find that a lot of these international scholarships, they cover living expenses, which is good. That's really good. That's like to die for. Right? Applications open annually in February with detailed requirements available through each country's OAS representative. So definitely check these out. So far, we've spoken about the Chevening Scholarship. We've spoken about the Fulbright Scholarship. We've spoken about the Erasmus Mundus. And we've also spoken about the OAS scholarships, right? So let me know which ones you are interested in so far. No, we're coming down nicely. We're now at Commonwealth scholarships, global opportunities. No, UK scholarships. Now, for UK scholarships, we have master's and PhD funding for study in the United Kingdom with full financial support. Right? We have Canadian programs, which actually offer research and study opportunities across Canadian universities with living allowances. So these international scholarships are not only limited, or what I'm saying is these scholarships are not only limited locally, but it could be an opportunity for you to even travel. And some of these scholarships are even covering flights, living expenses. So you are literally just doing your best, applying yourself, and putting yourself out there. And why persons don't get this is because they don't know about them. A lot of these scholarships are still unclaimed, not because they don't want to, but because people are not applying because people do not know. And that's why I'm spreading awareness about these scholarships. Right? Let me know if you're finding the information valuable so far, and if you have questions. Right? Now, Indian opportunities, yes, there are scholarships that you could study in India. Right? Technical and professional programs in India's rapidly growing education sector. And we also have Australia options. I actually met someone on TikTok who is now studying in Australia on a scholarship. Right? Scholarships for undergraduate and postgraduate study in Australia's top institutions. Now, Commonwealth scholarships basically they leverage our shared history and values to provide educational opportunities across the Commonwealth, right? These scholarships will prioritize candidates who demonstrate the potential to contribute to their home country's development. Yes. So that's one key thing. A lot of these scholarships, they require you to return to your home country, to give back to your country, right? And maintain strong Commonwealth connections. No, we have a regional Caribbean scholarships as well, right? So don't overlook the powerful scholarship opportunities right in our own backyards. We have scholarships in our backyard, not only the international ones, because you might be like, Felisa, I don't want to travel. I want to just stay here with my family. Let me know. Anybody in the comments is like that, or you would prefer to travel for a scholarship, or you just want to stay home and study and receive a scholarship. Where are on the spectrum are you? Right? Let me know. Now, regional programs, they understand our unique challenges and opportunities. And what they do is that they often provide more accessible pathways to quality education while keeping you connected to Caribbean culture and networks, right? These scholarships, what they do, they recognize the excellent education, or they recognize that excellent education doesn't always require leaving the region, because the truth is we have some of the best schools in our region. So to get a good education, it doesn't mean that you have to go internationally. You could get it locally just the same in terms of tertiary education, right? Agreed? Let me know. Let me know. I like when you guys stop back. It keeps me going. Right? So the scholarships recognize that excellent education doesn't always require you leaving the region. So they are designed to build local capacity while maintaining strong Caribbean identity and connections. Do you know any of those scholarships? I'm going to be listing some. So we have our CDB scholarships, Caribbean Development Focus. Now, postgraduate studies. Let's start with postgraduate studies. Postgraduate, so you have to understand how the levels of education work. You have your kinder. Let me start with that. In the Caribbean, we have kindergarten or kinder education. Then we have our primary education. Some persons go to prep school, primary education, and we have our high school education. Now, after high school education, which we call our secondary education, there is tertiary education. But tertiary education first, you do your some persons will do an associate degree. So we'll start with that associate. Then you'll do what we call our undergraduate degree or a bachelor's degree. Right now, after your bachelor's degree, then we move to a master's degree. Right, and after a master's degree, then we do our doctoral degrees or PhD. right? So actually, there's a difference between doctorate, doctoral, and the PhD, and that's something that a persons don't know. I found that out recently when I was doing admissions for a university, office, right? So yes, now postgraduate studies, the Caribbean Development Bank, they fund master's and PhD programs specifically in development related fields, including economics, public policy, and environmental studies. Priorities given to candidates who commit to working in the Caribbean post graduation. Right? We also have our technical programs where we have specialized training in areas critical to Caribbean development, such as renewable energy, those are critical for Caribbean development, climate adaptation, digital transformation, and sustainable tourism. These programs often include practical experience components. Hi, everyone joining. How are you? Welcome. Now, research grants. Funding for research projects addressing Caribbean specific challenges with opportunities to work directly with regional governments and organizations on real world solutions. So, these are some of the Caribbean development scholarships that exist, right? Now, the one that a lot of us might know, UWI Open Scholarship. Anybody knows what's UWI? What does UWI, the acronym UWI stand for? All of us should know this one. All of us should know this one. I want all of you to answer. You shouldn't be just on the live and not answering, okay? Or you shouldn't just be watching and not answering. UWI. Who knows? The U, what's the U and the W and the I for? I want to know. I want to know. All right, I want to know. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm just gonna wait on you to type it. UWI. What does it? The U, the W, and the I stand for? Now, undergraduate UWI Open Scholarships, I'll probably say it at the end of this one. Now, undergraduate opportunities. No, UWI Open Scholarships, Regional Excellence, right? And you should know that we have different UWI campus across the Caribbean, not just in Jamaica, right? We have UWI Mona, we have UWI Western, Western Jamaica campus, and we have UWI Kville. We have a number of campus. University of the West Indies, very good, Fancy Face. We have a winner here, right? Fancy Face has said it. Thank you. Congratulations. Right? Only Fancy Face knows this. I can't believe only Fancy Face knows that UWI is University of the West Indies. Anybody else knew that? I can't tell if you know it if you don't comment it. Let me tell you that, right? I'm that teacher who I don't know if you don't say. I can't assume that you know, right? Just like how I can't assume that all my students know the 20 elements of the periodic table. Come on, right? So, yes. So, Fancy Face is the only person who knows that. So, that's very good. Congrats. Anybody else knows it? Say yes if you knew it. Say yes if you knew it. Let me know. Let me know. All right. Now, merit-based scholarships for top performers. That's what some of the undergraduate opportunities that exist at the University of the West Indies. Need-based assistance programs. So if you are in need, then they also have some programs for you, as well as subject-specific awards in critical areas. So you'll find a lot of scholarships in STEM, in engineering, and those areas that are critical. Athletic scholarships. Yes, there are a lot of scholarships for athletic persons. So if you're good in track and field, football, basketball, then there are athletic scholarships. Or sports, let me put sports scholarships for talented sports individuals. Postgraduate support. There's also postgraduate support in terms of research assistance, right? And teaching fellowships, full scholarships for doctoral studies. Yes, you could get a scholarship to do your doctorate, right? As well as professional development grants and international exchange programs. Now, the University of the West Indies, they offer comprehensive scholarship programs across 3 campuses. These range from full ride scholarships for exceptional students to targeted support in areas like medicine, so you could get a scholarship to pursue medicine, engineering, and the creative arts. The application process is usually straightforward with deadlines typically in March or for the following academic year. Any questions so far? We've been going for about 35 minutes. Time to ask your questions. Now, the next one we're looking at is creative industry scholarships. Now, Caribbean Catapult. Now, supporting students in creative industries, including film, music, visual arts, and digital media. These scholarships basically recognize the Caribbean's rich cultural heritage and growing creative economy. So there's the Caribbean Catapult, where we're focusing on the arts and the music industry and the film and music, right? Visual arts, right? We're talking about universities now, such as your Edna Manley College of Visual and Performing Arts, right? Now we have innovation grants, where Caribbean Export Development Agency, they provide funding for students pursuing entrepreneurship, right? Innovation and business development studies with focus on Caribbean market opportunities. We have tech scholarships. We have tech scholarships as well. Tech scholarships, right? A growing number of programs supporting Caribbean students in technology fields, recognizing the region's potential as a digital service hub. So we are a digital service hub. We're talking about scholarships, scholarship opportunities that exist for Caribbean students. Definitely go ahead and subscribe, like this video, and share. And let me know if you have any questions at all. And I would definitely be very, very happy to answer them. All right, about the different scholarships that you can apply for, or your child could apply for, or your niece, your nephew, somebody you know could actually benefit. I want you to go ahead and share this with somebody who you know who could benefit from this, right? Because a lot of persons could benefit, and we do not want to gatekeep. Because let me tell you, a lot of the scholarships that I was able to apply for, I didn't know about them. It was people who shared them with me, and I actually got word of them. So you definitely want to go ahead and share the opportunity with somebody else. All right, even if you're not thinking about going to college, you want to share it with somebody else who could benefit, right? All right, next one, national scholarship programs. Every island has opportunities, right? Each Caribbean nation will offer scholarship programs, which are often overlooked by students who focus only on international opportunities. Now, these programs are typically less competitive. So, if you're applying for something in your home country, it's clearly going to be less competitive than an international one, right? So, it makes it more accessible. And when it's more accessible, it makes it an excellent starting point or complementary funding source for you. Because I was able to actually benefit from the Math and Science Scholarship by the Jamaican government. That wasn't an international scholarship, that was local, right? And it was very, very competitive, but I was able to get it. So I'm saying that we can start with local scholarships, right? National scholarships often come with fewer restrictions and more flexible terms. They may require you to work in your home country. So you might get like what we call a bond. I actually had a bond for 3 years, I think, where I was supposed to work in my country just because I got that scholarship, right? So they may require you to work in your home country for a specified period after graduation. So creating a pathway to contribute directly to national development while building your career. So you're gonna work and get paid. It's just that they're saying, hey, we want you to work in this country and not contribute to brain drain as we have, finish funding your education and then bam, you're gone. So there's usually some ties to your home country for some of these scholarships. Now, Jamaica scholarships example, no government programs, that's one. So Jamaica Teacher Scholarship for education majors in STEM, right? So there was this math and science scholarship when we were going to college. I think it's still around, right? STEM scholarships for science and technology students and various ministry specific programs targeting priority sectors. And that's why we're Western STEM Academy. STEM is in high demand. There are so many colleges and universities that are willing to pay for persons to do their STEM degrees because there are just not enough people who are pursuing these areas, right? Now we have private foundations, NCB Foundation. I was able to get a grant from NCB Foundation as well. And I know many persons, some of our teachers who were actually NCB Foundation scholars, right? So NCB Foundation, some of my classmates received this. So this is a very popular one, NCB Foundation. Grace Kennedy Foundation, and a lot of persons who receive from these organizations. JPS Foundation, they also offer substantial scholarships with strong alumni networks and mentorship programs. So there are a variety of scholarships that you can actually receive. Local support, so we're talking about our parish councils and our members of parliament, yes. They usually have small scholarship funds. I remember being a recipient of even a PATH scholarship where one year we got $50,000, the next year we got $100,000. So because I was on PATH, right, when I was going to school, I think PATH stands for Program of Advancement Through Health and Education. So while the amounts are modest for these, they can actually help to cover essential expenses like books and transport, right? So they help a lot. Imagine getting all this help for you or your child to pursue tertiary studies. I'm sure a lot of you would greatly benefit from that, or at least know somebody who would benefit from that, right? Comment yes and let me know. Now, the application strategy that works. As I mentioned before, these are competitive. They're not going to just drop in our laps. We have to work for them. So you have to be doing some research, identify the scholarships that are aligned with your goals, create spreadsheets, right, that are tracking the deadlines and the requirements and contact information. Start building relationships with potential referees because when you're applying for scholarships, you need reference, right? So build relationship. A lot of persons do not get scholarships because they don't have a reference, they don't have a justice of the peace that they know. So I guess this is my way of telling persons that I'm one of the justices of the peace for Trelawney. And yeah. Yes. So 9 months before you have the preparation phase. So you have to begin drafting personal statements, gather official transcripts, test scores, and certificates. Those are important. Schedule. You should have all of your documents in a folder, by the way. So you should have all of your professional. That's something that was, it into me from high school. You have to have a folder with all of your documents. All of your documents need to be in one folder, right? Schedule informational interviews with past recipients. So talk to past recipients. I'm gonna try to do that to bring some past recipients on this channel and share with you their experience applying for scholarships. I'll probably share mine as well, right? How you're gonna submit your applications early because you don't want to submit your applications and miss the deadline. Request your recommendation letters, right? Practice your interview and apply for backup funding options. And then you're gonna follow up. Now confirm that all materials received whenever you actually apply. Make sure the person or the place where you apply for, they have received your application. Prepare for the interview, research visa requirements, and plan your transition timeline, especially if it's international scholarships. Now, a lot of scholarships will require you to write what we call a personal statement. I remember applying for several scholarships. I have applied for so many scholarships. So I had this personal statement that I would tailor based on the scholarship. So it's good to have one, if you have one framework, but you would tailor it based on where you're applying and where you are on your journey. Now, you have to start with your story. What makes you different? What makes you stand out from the other 10 million people who are applying? At this point, we have to assume 10 million other people who are qualified just as much as us have applied. What makes you stand out, right? Now, you're going to start with your story. Open with a compelling narrative that shows your motivation and unique Caribbean perspective, or your own unique perspective. That's number one. Number two, highlight your leadership. You're going to showcase specific examples of leadership, community service, and initiative taken in your context. When have you exercised your leadership? When have you taken initiative? So for me, I would always start with my story, whenever I'm applying, of my journey, how I grew up in abject poverty, how we were basically, me and my grandma living growing up. We had no electricity, no running water, we had no access to bathroom facilities and stuff like that. But at the heart of it, education was my way out of poverty. I believe that with a good education, I would become successful. And I didn't let the poor circumstances that I have stop me. I showed how I was doing well in school. I was always at the top of my class. And then I showed how that actually contributed to me becoming a leader, where in high school I was a monitor, president of 2 clubs. Then I went to university. And when I went to university, I wanted to make an impact so bad, where I actually, was a part of the debate club, and some other clubs, became the president of the student council, and I would just share all of that. And from that, whenever I applied for any scholarship, from I started doing that, using that framework, I would definitely get shortlisted, and I would get an interview. Not just scholarship, but even job opportunities. Once I shared my journey, what I believe in, where I'm coming from, then usually I'm shortlisted for all those opportunities. So that's the secret to actually becoming successful and standing out. Share your unique story. What makes you unique? And that's what I use when I'm hiring persons. I look for what makes them unique. What it is that they're bringing to the organization that's going to make them stand out. So highlight your leadership. A lot of you're shying away from leadership. Do not shy away from leadership. You are a born leader. Stand up and lead. I used to shy away from leadership at first because I'm afraid of what my friends I'm going to think. I remember when I wanted to run for student council vice president, then president, I was afraid to tell my friends. I tell everybody else except my friends that I wanted to run, because I was just afraid that they're gonna judge me, because your friends, you're with them and you're laughing and you're running jokes with them. So they might not see the serious side of you that you have in you, or so you're a little hesitant. But I'm like, you know what? I'm doing it. And then when I told them, they were the most supportive persons ever. So you have to just feel the fear. And they saw it in me. I was the one who think they didn't see it in me, but they did. So you can't allow fear to stop you. And a lot of us, fear is stopping us. Connect to future goals. Clearly articulate how the scholarship will fit your career plans and contribute to Caribbean development. So I would say that I have this vision of building a school, changing the world through STEM. And that's what I want to do. And once you share that, you're sharing your vision. You also show cultural awareness. So you demonstrate understanding of both your home culture and the culture where you plan to study, right? Now, your personal statement is your chance to stand out from thousands of applicants. You're going to make it authentically Caribbean or authentically you, while showing global awareness and ambition. So you're going to be yourself, but show that you also know what is happening in the world. What are some of the issues that are happening in the world, and how will you, benefiting from this scholarship, actually help to save the world, right? You have to be able to demonstrate that. The next thing, thank you for joining, Jackson. How are you doing? The next thing is that you have to have academic references. So this is where your teachers come in, your lecturers, your professors. That's why in school we tell students, do not burn the bridges. Do not be disrespectful to your teachers or anybody for that matter, not even the janitorial staff or anybody, because you never ever know. Right now, even your own classmates, because let me tell you, your classmates could end up be I am interviewing you one day. I can't tell you the number of my classmates that I've interviewed, by virtue of me starting a school. And I'm not even talking about classmates that were in my class. I'm talking, well, schoolmates. I'm talking about schoolmates who were even ahead of me, who graduated before me, who I was able to interview for job opportunities, for different opportunities. And I've never had any experience of like, oh, that person wasn't, but I'm just saying, you just never know. We don't know what lies in our future. We don't know. I've run into people who I've worked with in other organizations who are now interviewing me in other organizations, so it's just a small world, right? So choose professors who know your work well and can speak to your academic potential, right? Give them plenty of notice. So don't just write down their name, but let them know that, hey, I'm using it for a reference. Can I? All right, give them plenty of notice and provide them with your personal statement and CV to help them write strong, specific recommendations. Right? You also want professional references. So this is from your employers, supervisors, or community leaders who can attest to your leadership skills. Since I've become a justice of the peace, people have asked me to write recommendation who I don't even know, and as a justice of the peace, you can't do that. So that is why it's important for you to build a relationship with persons. So, well, not just justice of the peace, but per you, anybody, all of us, we have to build a relationship with persons, right? A lot of people will say, I don't know any JP. The truth is, it's your job to know who are the justices of the peace in your community. You have to know that, right? So you have to know your pastors in the community. You have to know who are the police personnel in the community. You have to know them, right? So find somebody who can attest to your leadership skills, your work ethic, and your character. These references should complement and not duplicate your academic recommendations. Now, strong references can actually make or break your application. So, if your reference not good, or whatever your reference is like, it could make or break it, believe me. Right? Invest time in building genuine relationships with potential referees well before you need their support. Keep them updated on your achievements and goals throughout your academic journey. We always need a reference, always. Now, these are some essential resources and platforms that you can use. Scholarshipportal.com. This basically has a comprehensive database. This, as I mentioned, is on our YouTube channel. It's going to be on our YouTube channel, Western STEM Academy. So you want to go over there, and if you're not there, and hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be sharing valuable information like this that you can use to be on your journey towards success. Right? So scholarshipportal.com will have a comprehensive database of international scholarships with advanced filtering by country, field of study, and degree level. It's going to create a personalized recommendation based on your profile. We also have opportunitiescaribbean.com, which is a specialized platform focusing on opportunities for the Caribbean students, including scholarships, internships, and also career opportunities regionally and internationally. We also have LinkedIn networks. How many of us are on LinkedIn? How many of us are on LinkedIn? Be honest. Just send me in the chat if you're on LinkedIn. Me. Type me. Type me now if you are on LinkedIn. Type me. Type me if you're on LinkedIn. Type me if you are on LinkedIn. Type me if you are on LinkedIn. I'm not seeing any me. No. If you're not on LinkedIn, type no. So type me if you're on LinkedIn. Type no if you're not on LinkedIn. Nobody's on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, it connects with scholarship alumni and current recipients, right? You're going to join groups like Caribbean Students Abroad and Scholarship Winners Network or Insider Tips and Support. Another one that's not on the slide that I know works is Facebook. Facebook groups work. Facebook might seem dead, but Facebook groups, they're powerful. There's a Facebook group for every single thing, right? So Facebook groups, LinkedIn, those are important. Still waiting for you to type me if you're on LinkedIn. Am I to assume that none of the persons on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, but you're on LinkedIn? That's not good. If you're not on LinkedIn, you need a LinkedIn. Um, you need a LinkedIn profile tomorrow. I'm giving you till tomorrow morning to create a LinkedIn profile. Tomorrow morning, right? I should say tonight, but I'm gonna allow you at least 24 hours. In 24 hours, you should have a LinkedIn page if you don't have one as yet. All right, Instagram communities follow scholarship recipients who share their journeys. Accounts like at Caribbean Scholars and Scholarship Tips will provide regular updates as well as motivation, because it's easy for us to lose motivation, just give up, right? So you need to follow platforms that are encouraging you along your journey and people who are sharing how difficult it was. You won't always hear yes. Sometimes you'll hear no. I applied for hundreds of scholarship, and let me tell you, a lot of them tell me no. No. They were just like, no. I don't even want to call any company's name, but I think it's not like I'm bashing them or anything because they're doing good. JPS was one such company that I applied for. They didn't have no scholarship at the time, but I send them my story and tell them how bad my life, how good I'm gonna be and how bad things were for me at the time and how much I just needed some help because I just completed first year in college. I don't have no money. I don't know how the second year going to be. And they responded and they're like, no, not at this time. You know? So what you going to do? You're going to just continue. And right after JPS tell me no, not at this time, the government of Jamaica sent out something, and it was somebody who sent it to me. So that's why I'm telling you that, hey guys, share the live with people because you don't know. Somebody sent it to me that, hey, the government has math and science scholarship. Then probably didn't even know that I was gonna apply and know that the scholarship would change my life. So it's same way you're thinking about a cousin or a niece or or a nephew, right? Or a brother or sister, and you don't know that it's gonna help them, but just send it to them. You're not doing nothing, you're not hurt them. You're just sending a resource. I need you to send this video. Everybody watching must send this video to at least 5 persons who you can think of who would benefit from a scholarship, because I'm happy. I don't remember who sent me something, but I was just so happy and I applied, and when we get the call that I was one of 3 persons who got a full, it was the first they were launching the scholarship that year, and I was one of the 3 persons who got a full scholarship that covered the entire tuition as well as accommodation. 3 of us alone in the entire Jamaica got that. Some other persons got like 80% scholarship, 50% scholarship. Well, we got 100% scholarship and accommodation. So that's what I'm saying. No, the small scholarship strategy, every dollar counts. Sometimes you need more than one scholarship. I ended up having more than one scholarship because things were just so rough for me. And I want to tell the story of a Cranwater scholarship, but I want to do that in another video. I don't want to put this one here. I just saw it. Actually, I don't even want to talk about it. I'll talk about it, but I've had so many experiences with scholarship. I'm telling you. So that's why I thought it was a good topic to share on, right? The small scholarship strategy, every dollar counts. Don't underestimate smaller scholarships. I think that Cranwater scholarship was $50,000. Since you forced me say it was $50,000, and I applied, and I don't think I'd gotten the scholarships yet, and traveled from Manchester all the way to St. Catherine to get the scholarship because I'm excited and we need the money, because when I have nothing at all, I was struggling. I couldn't even go home because there wasn't really any home to go home to. It was me and my grandmother sharing the bed and stuff like that. And when I go into college, finally have my own bed, have my own space. So I don't want to go home, right? So I'm here at college now, and then what happened to college? Yes, we travel all the way to St. Catherine for this scholarship, And they were just impressed with my story. It may get lost so much time. I don't even think I had fear to come back home. I only had money to go. But no, I lie. I wouldn't leave and not have fear. It's like I had enough money to go and come back, but I didn't realize that when I get to Spanish Town, it was another trip to go to Huisinco, or where the place was at the time. So I ended up had to charter this car. I think I was alone in there to go way up to where the factory is, where the interview was gonna be. So I end up have to use more money than the plan, and me like, gee, I had some friends who live in Kingston, so that was my backup plan. That I'm going to call these friends and let them come meet me, and I'll have resources to come back. And I tell them the journey that, hey, I really need this scholarship. I need this scholarship. And I eventually got this. It was two of us who got selected for the scholarship. But long story short, they eventually took back the scholarship from me. I'll talk about that in another video. And because I ended up getting some other scholarship. So by then I got the government scholarship and all of my tuition was paid off. But I still never had money for food and stuff like that. Right? So I thought the $50,000 would help out with college, living expenses. And I tried to request that for that. But yeah, that wasn't applicable. They wanted it for tuition, and seeing that my tuition was paid off, they eventually took that one back. Not from me, because they wouldn't give me directly. They would just give it to the school. So that's the story of that. Side story. All right. So yeah, that's the story of that. Now, 3.7K average total amount students can actually accumulate from multiple small scholarships annually. So I only brought this up to say to check the terms and conditions of the small scholarships, because you might have small scholarships that add up, and some scholarships they're only to be used for certain things and they're not transferable to anybody else. They're not transferable to any other service. So that's why I brought that up. Right? 70% success rate, right? No, let me start at the top. No, don't underestimate small scholarships. A $500 textbook scholarship, a $1,000 travel grant, and a $2,000 housing assistance award can add up to significant support. Many students ignore the small opportunities while chasing only the big awards. That's what I don't want you to do, right? So, 70% success rate, higher acceptance rate for smaller targeted scholarship programs, and 45 less competition. So the average competition it's less, right, for small scholarships. So small ones is like 45 people applying typically, just for example, versus 500 for the major awards. 500 plus, just for example. So if you have a small and a large scholarship, you probably have about 45 people applying for the small one, and about more than 500 applying for the large one. You get what I'm saying? Tap the screen and share those who are on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. Tap the screen, tap the live. Let's bring it to 1K. Those who are on, we can do better than that TikTok. Let's bring it to 1K at least. We're only 237 and we've been here for an hour and 3 minutes. We can do better. We can do better. Let's tap the screen, everybody. Let's tap the screen. All right. We want to create a strategy that includes both major scholarships and smaller opportunities. The smaller ones often have unique requirements that match your specific background, interests, or career goals, giving you better odds of success. All right, when you tap the screen, it does help because I just get the button to slide, meaning that you guys not interacting with the live. Owen, everybody who joined on TikTok, tap the screen because it's telling me that you guys not interacting. So I had to slide the thing to show that I'm not a robot. That's because of the inactivity. We're sensing inactivity, guys. I know you're enjoying the information, but just tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it. Tap it until you see the number move. It really does make a difference. It sends it out to more people. Even if you don't want to share it to 5 people, that's a simple way of other people knowing more about what's happening over here. So let's tap it and bring it to 1,000. I'm going to pause until we reach there. Keep tapping it, keep tapping it, keep tapping it. Keep tapping it, guys. We can do better. We can do better. We can do better. Thank you, Andrew876. I see you. Who else is there? Let's start the screen, everybody. Let's start. This is valuable information. Reggae Visionary, Dawn, Pat, Devon, Janine, Marcy, Mary, Chris, Tamaya, Dr. Juice, Reedy. Let's start the screen. This is really good information, and you're helping somebody's life. Know that, right? And share the live as well. Thank you, Andrew. I see you. I appreciate Andrew. Guys, let's help out Andrew. Let's help out Andrew. Andrew876. Let's help him out. Come on, come on. We can do it. All right. Now, there's nothing I love more than that congratulations we get when we get a scholarship. So help somebody out. Share this information with them. Tap the screen, share, like this live, like this video, and you can definitely change somebody's life. You never know. You never know. Right? So your scholarship journey starts now. Right? It starts now. Believe it or not. Take action today. You're never too old, you're never too young to get a scholarship. Take action today. I want you to take action. I don't want you to just sit on the live passively and just look. Take action. Start thinking about what you want to study. What have you always wanted to do? You could be 50 and become the doctor you want to be. You could be 60 right now and become the nurse you want to be. You're never too old for success. You have to get that and understand that. Right? You can become the electrician that you want, right? Because having the right career set you up for the kind of life that you want, the kind of success, the kind of house you want, the kind of family that you want, the kind of children that you want, the kind of opportunities that you can even afford for your children. And that's why I'm sharing this information to you. So thank you so much for liking the live and sharing. I appreciate it so much. All right, subscribe as well. Those who are on YouTube, everybody watching should be subscribed. Now, choose 3 scholarships from the presentation that I've had that match your goals and start researching their specific requirements. So I've mentioned a lot of scholarships: the Chevening Scholarship, the Fulbright, the Erasmus Mundus, the local scholarships, the STEM Scholarship, the Math and Science Scholarship, the Caribbean Development Bank Scholarship. Several scholarships have been mentioned. Start thinking about them. All right, build your timeline. That's important. Let's help out the persons who are liking. Join them. Create a 12-month application calendar with key deadlines. Right, preparation milestones and application submission dates. That's important. Connect and learn. So you're gonna reach out to one scholarship recipient this week through LinkedIn. Remember, by tomorrow you must have a LinkedIn account or on Instagram to learn from their experience. If you want to reach out to me, then that would be good. Hi, Jackson Francis. How are you doing? We're talking about scholarships, UJWVAL, right? All right, we're almost at 1,000. Keep tapping. Very, very good. We're doing very, very good. Let's join and help out. Let's join and help out, guys. Join and help out. Join and help out. Join and help out. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. We're just 57 likes away from 1,000. I'm seeing you. 57 away. 57 away. All right. Scholarships don't just fund education. They fund dreams. They fund they fund dreams, they transform communities, and they also build the future leaders for our Caribbean region, right? Your journey starts with a single application. Right? The path to scholarship success requires persistence, strategy, and belief in yourself. Every successful scholarship recipient actually started exactly where you are right now, with a dream and the determination to pursue it. That's where I started. I had a dream that I was going to go to college. I was going to graduate. I was going to help to take my mother off the streets. I was going to help somebody. I had that wonderful dream. And you know what? That dream became possible because of a single application. So the only scholarship you definitely won't receive is the one you don't apply for. So I want you to take this and start your journey today. When are you going to start your journey? Not tomorrow. You're going to start your journey today. I learned a lot about these scholarship opportunities from social media. I learned about them from people who shared with me. So I want you to go ahead and share this with somebody else. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, leave a comment, and let me know what you learned and what you need more of. Right? So if you need to see more content like this, let me know what you want to hear more about. I can start telling you active scholarships that are open today in other videos to come. Let me know and I'll be very excited. I'm Felisa and it's been a pleasure talking to you on this channel. I am going to see you in the next video. All right?
Recording stopped.
And that's where I'm going to be ending the Western STEM Academy YouTube stream that I was doing while I was talking to you, right? And looking at all the persons who were liking and following and commenting and sharing. And now I'm open for questions. Any questions that you guys have? Any questions that you guys have? No questions? All right, this is gonna convert and download, but I'm really passionate about this topic about scholarships though, because a lot of us, we want to pursue tertiary education, etc., but we don't know ways that we can actually get that. So that's why I decided that I'm going to share that video. It's going to be up on the YouTube channel. So if you have questions, now is the best time to let me know what those questions are. That's what we do at Western STEM Academy. We're all about connecting students to opportunities because we want them to be successful, right? We're really a full-time online school for students from 6 to 18 years old. We have our we have our prep school students from grades 1 to 6, and we have our high achiever students from grades 7 to 11. So there's a prep school and a high school section that we have, right, for students. Our students have been able to move from our high school to colleges and universities, and a lot of them have received scholarships as well, right? So we're all about that in terms of helping students to succeed. So let me know if you have any questions. you know Let me know. We do offer like a wide variety of subject areas: math, English, social studies, science, chemistry, biology, physics, and overall our students have been doing really well and we're just proud of them. Yeah, we're really really proud of them, right? So yeah, I wanted to share about the various scholarships that exist and tell you that scholarships can help to really change your lives. And it doesn't matter where you are right now. You might be working and you don't see a way out. You might have your children and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't bother to go back to school. There are even online programs, right? There are online programs that you can pursue that offer scholarships as well. So I feel like there is something for everybody. You just have to know what your goals are, what your dreams are, and be intentional about them. Especially that we're coming to the end of 1 year. Now is the time for us to think about where we are in life, what it is that we really want to accomplish. Are you comfortable with where you are? Never be afraid to pivot. Never be afraid to start over. Never be afraid to take on a new opportunity, because that new opportunity that you're afraid of could be the one to change your entire life. So thank you, the person who brought the live to 1K likes on Instagram. I appreciate you. Keep tapping, keep tapping. I appreciate you so, so much. Those who have been watching for the 1 hour and 13 minutes and 47 seconds that we have been live, thank you so much. It definitely means a lot. Andrew876 has been liking a lot. Let's shout out Andrew876 in the comments by helping him by joining and liking. Let's give him some help. He has been really liking and supporting the live, right? And we're just wishing him good success, great things. Whether you're a parent or somebody who is thinking about a scholarship as well, you decided to not only sit on this live but interact, make yourself stand out. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, so many opportunities, a lot of people, they go in there, but they never stand out. They never stand out. You just become a part of the persons who are just in the crowd. And nothing is wrong with being in the crowd, but sometimes, I'm sorry, you have to stand out. You have to stand out if you want to be successful. And that's how I've been able to really, make it. Even as an entrepreneur who started a school, I was the underdog. I was never supposed to start a school and do any of that. But you have to stand out. Like how I would stand out is to come online every single day, go live, talk to people, right? Even when I don't feel like it, even when I'm tired, overwhelmed, I have to get up and show up, because that's how you become successful. You don't become successful by being the status quo, right? You literally have to show up, show out, and make yourself stand out in a world where everybody is becoming the same. you know More and more, I feel like in 2025 and beyond, everybody is becoming the same. You apply for a job, and five of you have the same resume. Nowadays, all the resumes, they're looking alike, right? What makes you stand out from somebody else? So that's a part of becoming successful. You have to stand out. You have to identify what makes you uniquely you, and you have to show up in that. Stop trying to be like everybody else. Stop trying to say that, I don't want them to see me. I don't want them to know that I'm here. They need to know that you are here. They need to know that you are here. Whenever you go into a room, you got to take up space. You got to show up. You got to take up space. They need to remember you even when they are done. So, you know what? I'm going to remember. I'm just using this for example. It's not any bait or anything. But I'm going to remember that Andrew876, whoever he is, I don't know him, or at least I don't know if I know him behind the name, for example. But I will remember that he was on the live and he was one of the persons who was tapping the screen, right? So it's just simple things like that where, just doing simple things that make you stand out can actually help us, right? And that's what I use myself. I know that in college there was only, when I went to college, I'm like, all right, when I was in first year, who did I interact with? I interacted with the president, and he stood out. The college, whoever the college president was, I still remember him, Lamar Edgel and Roxanne Francis. They stood out. They were the two people who were interacting with us, helping us to do all the things that we needed to do. And I'm like, you know what? They stood out as people who were helping me. One day I want to become a college president too. And I showed up, did the work, and beknownst, I was able to become one of the college presidents as well, just by virtue of being someone who stood out. I had to have stand out, because when I was running and in the campaigns, I was running against people who stood out very well too, right? So it's all about standing out, because believe it or not, we're in competition. And sometimes it's not even about competition with anybody else. Sometimes it's competition with our own selves. And I won't lie to you and tell that you're not in competition with other people. You are. You kind of are, right? Everybody's competing for the same opportunities. What makes you suitable for this opportunity? You apply for a job, you're not the only one who applied. You apply for a scholarship, you're not the only one who applied. You are competing. I'm talking to my family nowadays, and we're talking about the competition with robots, right? Not only are we competing with humans alone anymore, but we're also competing with robots, right? Imagine. What you guys think of that? Let me know what you guys think of that. I'm still live on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, so I'm gonna be closing out some of them, starting with Instagram. So thank you guys who are watching on Instagram. I feel like that's enough for you now. So now I'm live on TikTok and YouTube. Yeah. We're gonna be wrapping up soon because it's already after 11 and I probably have another long day tomorrow. But yeah, because I'm still teaching between Western STEM Academy and I'm doing some other personal projects. But yeah, it's today I was doing a video that is almost less than 6 weeks left for the end of 2025, and I can't believe it. Like, it's mind blowing that 2025 is coming to an end already. It's mind blowing because to me the year just started, but it's just a sign that time doesn't wait on us. We have to be ready, we have to show up, and we have to be ready and give our best at all times, right? So let me know, is anybody here thinking about scholarship? Any scholarship? Anybody here thinking about furthering their education? I'm all for furthering studies. Um, I have a funny story of when I started my master's for probably the third time. I started a lot of master's program. I started an online master's program 2 time, and then I paused, and then I started another master's program with UE, and then I paused because the school, the business was taking off so much, and I just felt like I couldn't manage it. And then last year I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start my master's again. So I'm currently doing another master's again, for probably one, two, three, fourth time, but I intend to finish this one. So wish me luck, right? So yeah, I am all for studying in terms of pursuing your stuff. So even though I'm all for entrepreneurship, I believe in the power of entrepreneurship. I started 4 businesses. I still intend to study from the master's level up to the doctoral level. So that's what's going on. Thank you all for joining. How are you doing? We were talking about scholarship opportunities earlier. I think I'm gonna end the YouTube live now. We have talked enough on Western STEM Academy. I'm going to be continuing on TikTok only, Felisa Ricketts. So thank you all. Remember to subscribe and see you soon. So yeah.